It's funny. Well,
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday. Tea time Ascension talk.
Oh my God, let's get comfortable here. Let's get comfortable here. Happy Friday, tea time, everyone. So much up. Does this look extra low today? It feels that way, right?
I don't know.
Should we bring the other
I think
book?
it looks great.
Okay.
To be honest.
Well, happy Friday, tea time, everyone.
Well, good morning, good
Hello,
afternoon, Demetrius.
Demetrius.
How are you doing, Demetrius?
Hi, sweetheart.
We're sending lots of love to you, and knowing you're in beautiful, beautiful London.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Fidel and Janice. Look at both of you. Wonderful
Love
for joining
it.
us. Thank you for joining us.
So let us know where you're joining us from and what tea are you drinking. Hello, Mariam in the house.
Hello, Miriam.
Yeah.
Hello, Fiorella.
Hello, Fiorella in the house.
Hello,
Valerie, Christina in the house. Hello, hello, hello.
So what are you drinking?
So today I felt guided with just a tiny amount of mushroom coffee.
Hello, Dan.
And also, hi, Dan, darling. And also I put my almond milk foam. And I have a beautiful foamer here that I just love to use in my hot water and no sugar, nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty dandy. I understand you wanted to taste some. Tell me.
Interesting. She never allows me to taste.
Of course I do.
Let me have my own, because every time she brews something,
I want you to
I want to have a little sip, because you know how the Persians
everything
are.
I have.
Persians always make it so graceful, so beautiful. You know, Miriam, it's like delicious. So when I have, just make your own itself right there. So finally, she allowed me to have tea in front of all of you guys.
And we have cookies.
What kind of cookie?
Fig Newton cookie.
Yeah, not the Fig Newton, but a fig bar. Organic. Not the Fig Newtons, but the fig cookie bar.
Fig cookie.
Yeah, the original. The original bar.
Cookie. I've been having cookie cravings.
So I'm drinking this honey bush sweet South African nectar. It was very interesting. For those that have ever seen this brand, it's really, really delicious. And I'm giving it a whirl this morning itself right there.
Let's see who's drinking what. Let's see.
Mariam loves your hair. Look at this.
Oh, Mariam, look. So, okay, we're going to talk about, let's go over first whatever is drinking, and I'm going to talk about this.
Got you. So Janice is having some beautiful rose hip tea.
So that's beautiful. Are you having the rose hips itself with the water in it, Janice? Because a lot of times I make a lot of the rose hips. Curious, or did you have it like as a tea bag? Just out of curiosity.
Demetrius is having lemon, ginger, honey, and thyme.
Ooh,
beautiful.
Thyme is
I like
such
how
a nice
you add thyme into it, Demetrius. Let us know. I'm drinking. Wow, Egyptian licorice. Do you know, Valerie? They put a lot of licorice into a lot of Chinese herbal wellness formulas. Yeah. It's a great base, and it really helps find a neutrality between a lot of the herbs itself, right there. Janice, and banana muffins. Oh yeah. Why didn't you bring the banana muffins over here, Janice? I mean,
Janice,
you just killed our Fig Newton. Oh, we were classy. She has banana muffins.
You can't beat that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Dan is having H2.
Good for you. Have the clarity. Good morning, Orlando. Thank you for joining.
No, it's not Orlando. It's Lee.
Hi, Lee. How are you doing, sir?
By the way, Lee, we have to talk to you.
You found us at a perfect time in our lives.
Because you are an answer to our prayers. So we're going to talk to you privately.
Yeah. We manifested you at the perfect time.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk to you. So Lee's drinking honey, lemon, fresh ginger. Perfect. We have honey, and we have not honey, lemon, ginger every single morning. That's the first thing before we put the Persian tea in. Okay, Lisa is on. Hi, Lisa. So much love.
Bedtime caramel.
But bedtime, sister, are you back? This is about to be a high Friday tea time. I love it.
Good afternoon, Lori. Green tea and chrysanthemum. Yummy.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm about to make mine too. Hot water and thyme. Beautiful, Miriam. We should make some hot water and thyme. I think we haven't done that. It's very healthy.
We can't do it with our oregano, right?
We can do oregano. I don't think it's oregano though.
What was that I grew? What is that thing? I let you taste it
You
today.
gave me something you didn't know.
No, and what was it? I have a mental block right now. What was it?
You said it's the plant that you've grown from forever. I'm blocking
See,
as well.
there you
because
go.
you zapped
Okay.
me. Okay.
So, talking about hair. So what do you do when it's Friday, it's totally rainy, and you come out of shower, your hair is so curly, and you barely have time to blow dry your hair, and you just feel this wild energy, wild fire, more fire.
And she looked at my hair and she was like, I want to be like your hair. My hair was
my
like
hair,
here.
Michael's hair is wonderful.
It
It
kept
would have
getting
been
in my
perfect,
mouth.
but it keeps coming. It's like this in his mouth. It doesn't like it. So, Mariam, I decided, you know what? It's just going to be put up, and
We didn't want to scare you with too much hair.
so
I
it
threw
is
mine
what
back.
it is, and I just let it be today. That's it. So thank you, Mariam.
Good afternoon, Patricia.
Hi, Patricia.
Thank you for joining us.
English tea.
English tea.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Well, welcome. It's
Happy Venus Friday, everyone.
It's a beautiful day. It's a wonderful time period, and we thank you for all being here. So much is happening, and we're just excited. We've held this vibration of joy and excitement and happiness amidst of everything that's going around. We just feel this beautiful energy that's been moving through us, and so we are just honored that all of you could bring your beautiful energies with us so we can share that along.
So I wanted to show you who's along today. Look, one of our fairies, and we just recently discovered that if you put battery in it, the colors change. How about, so we've had this for quite a while from North Carolina, but never knew we could put battery in it. So we decided to have her join us today.
Can I introduce your new friend? Can I introduce your new
Introduce one of my sacred friends. You can introduce.
This is a beautiful, beautiful sacred friend that just came to
another
us.
Star being
another
of
star
my friend.
What type of stone is this?
This is a rhodonite. I love her. I haven't gotten information.
Look at the eyes with the labradorite right there. Isn't that beautiful?
Yay.
They keep coming to visit us, so we know we're getting closer and closer to our galactics.
So we have our rose quartz crystal ball
and our crystals here. We have to set up the energy.
And these are what's joining us, and together with the man, this is what's behind here, and we have pyramid, and here's a few other ones that are here.
They want to pop in.
Yeah, this one is these two, and the other soda light. I've had a couple of friends that have wanted them, so they're
this one's
purchased.
Beautiful right here. They just keep wanting to say hello. So
they're here with us.
So if you feel some beautiful positive energy, we made sure that this could be fully, as our dear friend would say, lit.
Gia says it's lit.
It's lit. So we are fully into that itself right there.
So I wanted to start our conversation today with something that took place last night, and I just want to have a discussion around it, which is, I feel, get comfortable, love.
Do you think you could?
Michael, I am so comfortable, and I swear if I move my leg,
the cross-legged,
I know the cross-legged. Put your leg also cross too. Come on, yogi leg.
Your knees are coming out.
Hi, Fiorella.
We're a little excited this morning, so I'm trying to get off.
So I wanted to share something that you all absolutely have. Please, your input into this. Within our ascension, there are many different, I often talk about this, there's so many different, you know what, I feel guided to record this part right here on this side. Okay, so within our ascension journey, we are being put in various positions. And within these various positions, we are given the opportunity to exercise the higher aspects of ourselves to step forward. That's coming from our I am presence and what have you. And sometimes we're really, really good at it in pulling it in and allow that part to take over and handle whatever situation. And sometimes we're just not. And so, for me, I really see that ascension is really a personal journey first. And what you are able to truly master within yourself, you're able to then implement that within the collective, because then you have an authentic experience that has made possible within the collective energy so that others too have the capability to access this part of themselves. So why I'm sharing this is because something took place last night, and it was very interesting because I was given the opportunity to really, really stand up and voice my truth. And I do that. As most of you know me, I'm pretty vocal in speaking my truth and what have you. And this one particularly was very, very important because I needed to stand up so strongly in my no being a no. And it has to do with several years of, I wouldn't say just not being heard, not being hearted. And when I've had to give in, go against my own will, go against my own heart, go against my own feelings, but again, just to not please it, but just to calm the situation and what have you. And it never feels good, but it has been whatever it has been. But last night, I was able to be very firm. My no was a strong no, and I did not back down. And usually I back down. Michael was proud of it because you got it. Well, one second. Let me just.
Usually you back down?
No. But I feel with this, I mean, I still voice it, but I do give in. You know, you have seen that. Like, there's a lot. I mean, it's been, you know, you know the situation. Yeah, so okay. Again, be the bigger person. Again, be the bigger person. I mean, it's like continuously, it's very unjust, very unfair, and just continue being the bigger person. But last night, I felt very firm inside of me that absolutely no, and I will not budge, and I will not bend, and I will just flat out will not accept, and that's it. And that's very interesting for me to take that action, because I am about compassion. I am about the Christed energy, and I am about really the higher. But what is very important with this multi aspect of ourselves that we get to witness with ourselves, to witness this is not yet an area for me that I have mastered, because it's too close. And it is an area that has had its impact for quite a bit. And it is part of, I've done really, really well.
Amazingly
well. But I feel what was so important for me to really stand up, and I mean really stand up and not hold back, without getting angry, without being disrespectful, without yelling, without any of that, just a firm standing my ground. And what was amazing is I felt so liberated. I felt so grateful that I gifted that gift to myself, and how important that was. Nobody's going to stand up for me, but for me to stand up for me. And as light workers, those of us who are empath, those of us who are very sensitive, we are, and sometimes there is this being taken advantage of, because we are kind, we are loving, we do really feel the Christ energy. And that's true, but that only is valid when you are truly, there's this, not this one area, for example, that still hasn't healed in you. So this was part of me, and this part of me, no, I have not mastered it. So for me to stand up is part of my mastery, because the next level is then, okay, I got this way. So before I would sort of give in, or I would, be the bigger person, but it continues to went against my heart. And that's not right either. We still have, again, it's multi-layered what I'm speaking of. So this morning in my prayer, I went to bed really pumped, proud of myself, which Michael would then speak on his part. He was proud of me. And I really felt like, wow, I like just respect, like I did this for me, and how important this was for me as a woman. as that ties into my incarnation, I even wrote about it, like how important is this was my Magdalene voice speaking so loud that I just refuse to bend anything, and I just will not. So this morning when I went to my prayer, I started going my prayer, calling everybody and singing it. And of course, me with my team and my higher self were there. And I was like, from higher self, looking down on myself, just laughing like, hey, listen, you got to evolve this. And I was like, of course, I know it's not the area that I have yet evolved. I'm fully aware because it's had so much impact. And this does have to do, just reading between the line, it does have to do with my former spouse. So we're just going to put it at that. So with my husband. And so of course I was like, I know, of course I'm going to pick up the phone today and be gentler and all of that. Yet, but I needed to do what I needed to do finally for myself. It took so much strength, but what was interesting was it was so clear. I felt so strong. And I feel all this time, I never felt the level of strength to stand up the way I did last night. And also my son standing up for me. He called, he's like, Mommy, I don't blame you. And I was like, wow, and I was very calm and collect, right? So point being, we have some areas we have it handled, we got this, perfect. And there's some areas that we are developing, and want me before I would be angry, I would be yelling, and I'll be trying to fight for it. None of this last night. I was flat out no. And so I could tell as a part of my own personal ascension, I evolved it to another level. So
you're still videoing, by the way.
Oh,
and so
okay.
what I'm very inspired and what I feel very honored to witness in Honey is really her standing in her truth, and how, when standing in your truth, how much power that we are able to hold within ourselves. Because for so long, not just you, but many people, they look toward the outside, or they look toward validation or acceptance outwardly versus inward. And to watch you just stand in your truth, to stand in your power, and to not even question it, you honored every aspect of yourself. And I find that is like the
and I wasn't being a bitch either.
No, you weren't.
And I really spoke my truth.
Oh my God, I kept telling her to quiet down because I just wanted to sit in the pyramid last night to capture all the frequencies before going to bed. And I was like watching her. And even when I was meditating, I was like, wow, here we are right now, all of us, with about a gazillion beliefs going on out there. Who knows what's happening? Yet within us, we have the opportunity to really stand in our truth. And I find what is the major tool in standing in that truth is trust. You really trusted yourself. You really allowed yourself through all the experience to be your firm, be your beautiful, be your confident, be your courageous being.
Without trigger, right?
Without trigger. And what I loved about it was, I find that right now, a lot of us are learning how to trust again, because there's just been so much fear, so much skepticism, so much just separation, that where do we start to trust? Where do we start to actually stand tall in our truth? And watching you last night, without even a second, you not only trusted yourself, but it was beautiful to watch how you became an automatic role model for your son, because as you were expressing to Kian, there wasn't any type of blaming, there wasn't any pointing, there was just this beautiful array of what you're speaking from the trust of your heart, through the truth that you're standing upon, through the power that you exhibited in that moment. And I find that on a collective level, it speaks so large right now, that wherever we are in our journey, in our consciousness, within our own clearings, the debris coming up. I really feel that this time right now is to really go within and just start to trust that natural, incredible, divine being
I feel. See, there's this trust, and then it's put in action. Putting it into action is two different experience, and not coming from trigger, not coming from a reaction, just total embodiment, and that's it. And I feel a lot of us, again, being so sensitive, so compassionate. We really are. We want to, and like, of course, okay, I'll take it, no problem. But and as you have heard me, there's this energy of 2020, no compromise, no sacrifice. And I felt last night, it was so clear to me, if I give into this part now, again, I'm the only violation, nobody's violating me. I'm violating me because I am going against what is my total truth. This is completely unfair, and I'm not going to sacrifice, compromise in the name of family, in the name of this, and in the name of trying to contain the peace, all of that. That's what it was. So it was, of course, I trust myself, but put it into action with authority and clarity and grounded that nobody will hurt you but you, because you are compromising your truth, you're sacrificing your truth because you want to, because out of being compassionate and kind and loving. The truth is, when you stand up, then the next level, like this morning, it was like, okay, you got to handle this now. And I was like, I'm very aware of it. But I needed to first take ownership of this in this way, because I have taken ownership, and it's been a progress, right? But it's been trigger. That's the difference.
And I want to combine that back to what I said. Mm-hmm. That truth in standing up, there is a trust, there is a faith, there is an experience that is coming before it, because to stand in your truth is you're trusting your own power of who you are. And I'm bringing that to the collective.
And it was very much the I am. I am like, I won't go against this I am anymore.
And trusting, what I find is so important in this story, and to take it and bridge it out, is really to bring trust in everything that we're seeing right now, everything that we're feeling right now, and everything that is arising right now, because it's allowing us to create that foundation in what it is that we want to believe. And I find, because sometimes there's such a lack of trust, because there's so many different beliefs that are so far out.
Trust, you're talking about trust within oneself.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, just so I be clear about it.
So in that trust within oneself, it gives that powerful foundation. And what I find is it starts to create less separation within all that's moving forward, because if we can just trust everything within ourselves, we are then receiving our highest level of energy that gives us the position to move in what we truly feel. And that what I really am understanding deeper and deeper, especially these past couple of months, is that heart and love that is communicating as we go within, gives us everything that we need to know right now.
Yeah.
Turning off the TV, turning off the media, turning off everything that is there is already within our hearts. And the more that we can trust it, the more we can find truth within it, the more that we find this beautiful molding together that allows us really to rise in the frequencies that are happening. Versus the opposite, sometimes people have lost trust, they've lost faith, they've lost hope. So last night when watching you, it was like such a firm statement of like, not only do you trust, which was automatically, not only were you firm in your full of acceptance of not giving your power away.
I didn't give my power away.
Because you were accepting what was coming forward by not giving your power, and you were standing in the fullness of who you are. And to me, going within and feeling that and then acting upon it is really what I believe is the biggest gift that we're all learning right now. And I think
that's part of that. Again, it's like, it's a self-mastery, right? Ascension is a self-mastery, and all these different areas. And I feel this also ties in, like this week, it was very interesting. I posted a note earlier this week, Monday, I believe it was, or Tuesday. It was that when I learned Mark Zuckerman has given $25 million to World Health Organization. And so there's that tied to that. And then there was the announcement with YouTube CEO that it said, YouTube CEO said, on all YouTube channels, if there's anything with the word C, that which I'm not going to mention here, and that anything that has to do with alternatives such as vitamin C, anything that can help it, that goes again, World Health Organization, they'll ban the video. So I made a post about this because most of you all here, we're all alternative, we're all holistic, we're healers. So we utilize other things as a vehicle of any kind of virus, right? So I posted a link. So based on the post, based on what has been said, I was like, call to action, light workers, to bring light around this, right? So some lady I've never met on my post got so triggered. So she wrote a comment just from this explosive trigger. And the second I saw it, I was like, I just deleted it. And she started coming with it. And I deleted it and I went and I blocked her. So then later on in the day, my dear friend Gia messaged me. She's like, hey, this lady messaged me. She's a so-and-so. She was so angry that you had blocked her. And that's where I made the post. I was like, listen, like, I'm here to have a discussion. If there's something I wrote doesn't resonate, great, you can walk away. If there's something resonates, great. But if something has come up and you like to address it and be like, hey, honey, I just want to find out more about this, come from that place. But when you start blasting that, of course I'm going to delete and block it because it's not an energy that I'm going to even interact with. So it was so easy, no trigger, nothing, no stomach turning, nothing. And what I'm saying is these are all part of the experience for each of us to face these things and see how we're experiencing it in living action. Are we experiencing it from vulnerability? And if you are, it's okay, because that means there's more work needs to be in this area. That's all it is. And it's perfectly okay. And if you're able to then get it to a place where you can really stand and speak very, very with your own authority, which means it's very calm. The presence is so powerful, and you commune with the authenticity of that in which just vibrates truth in your whole being. That's also part of you, embracing your mastery. So there's nothing to be, and it's not about right and wrong here. It's about you not disconnecting from your higher you.
And that beautiful thing about the higher you is, I feel with this individual and what's happening across all social media platforms, what's coming across all media levels, is we're giving the opportunity to look at the opposing view, the polarity, and see how we can accept them where they're at.
Yeah.
And then see how our higher self can be compassionate, can be forgiving, and allow us to rise even higher, because everyone is exactly. And when I feel our true mastery has come forth, is when we can see that no matter what headline, no matter what media, no matter what's going on out there, still to remain in the love of our hearts and be compassionate to it, because that is their truth. And that's what that is what they're choosing. We have our own ability to define our own truth by going within and giving attention to it and giving love to it, because where it's like just the other day I was sitting there, and it's the easiest level. It's like where we put our thoughts and words is where we create our reality. It's simple. Yeah. It's such a simple, a simple way to look at it, and the complexity of when we look at spiritual bypass, all the different realms, ascension. But really ask yourself, where do I put my thoughts and words, and how does that impose or affect my reality? And I feel the more that we can really just step back from it all and really see what's happening and what the effect is, it's more beautiful, beautiful internal cleaning, spring cleaning, as we are in the, in the Northern Hemisphere, to really look at what is underneath that, because underneath that is more energy for us to accept, to love, to provide forgiveness, and to keep moving. Because many of us here on this line right now, we have been chosen. We have been chosen as the volunteers, as the missionaries, to come into a world where many of us are like, wow, we came in with so much. And around us, we feel like almost like we're the minority, almost like we're alone at times. We're like, why are all these people acting in a way that it feels so different than what I remember? Why is a world that seems so chaotic just can't come forward and bring forth their love and hearts? That's the ultimate test for us right now, is to harness that within ourselves and keep believing that the more that we bring forth that frequency and vibration of love and our own acceptance with him, then we can start to easily accept all the others out there, no matter where they are, no matter what planes they are, good or bad. Because what I loved, what you said, honey, was how much light we can give to forces that maybe we just don't believe that they're helping, whoever they are. Everyone has different opinions, but we give light to them. We give light to love. We give to all the things. I mean, imagine.
So,
imagine,
but let's use as a real example so they can understand.
Imagine
it's not
like every single person, being, media, president, whoever, that you may feel a certain sense of distance from. What happens if you can turn the leaf and look at that being or that organization or that institution and look at that for the highest love of all? It's like looking at someone and saying, okay, I can look through them and directly into their spirit and say, what good can I see out of this? What level of energy can I accept about them? Because we're looking at the highest good within them without allowing that lower energy to pull us down. And so for an example is like what people can do. Like maybe anyone on the chat, what are things that have affected you, and where in your heart can you look at the good of what's affecting you, or what the gift or the lesson of it's coming, because somewhere it's allowing you to bring up something that has a hold over you, somewhere where there's an energy, an anger, a sadness, a worry that's being brought up. And so that trigger, that energy is coming up to provide a beautiful level of compassion and love. That's what I just want to make the point on, of the acceptance of like the individual, of where we can do, just to give the example.
I got you. So in your example right now, last night when I was talking to my son, my older son, he said, Mommy, I stand by you. I fully hear you. We're the same. He's like, you being an example to me. I'm compassionate and kind like you, and I don't like being taken advantage of. I said, nobody's taking advantage of me, Kian. When I keep going against me, I am leaking my energy. And you have to understand, I got to stand in my truth. He said, I fully hear you. He's like, you just help me stand in mine. And that was that. So just very simple. Sometimes it's very simple like that. And we have to gift ourselves that, and being in our human form. And so moving forward to that, from that, it's been very beautiful these past few days. By the way, yesterday, I just before this, I felt so much heavy energy within the fields. It was just such heaviness, and I am very aware that from Tuesday we started the 13 days of the satanic rituals and dark magic that usually takes place with the Freemasons and a lot of the dark cabal, because they have to do their mass public sacrifices so that they can deliver their part. And usually it's during this frame for 13 days that there's that mass shooting or mass this or mass that. It's kind of interesting. And yet on Tuesday night when we did the silent meditation, I didn't want to really address it, but I knew to do the work with that and assist in shifting some of that. And so yesterday I could feel a lot of that heavy energy within the fields, which was also being observant of it. And as a result of it, again, it's like, okay, how can I bring more love into this? And yesterday I said, wait a minute, this this is just specifically yesterday. I was like, wait a minute, I'm in this place where I'm fully aware of this, but the greatest gift that I can give to myself is completely disconnect. So I told Michael, I was like, Michael, I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to go in that room and I'm going to do what I hardly ever do. I'm going to get off. No computer, no laptop, no social media. And you know what? I'm just going to turn on the Netflix and I'm going to binge. And I'm going to binge for a few hours. Something once a year, I might do that. And I did that last year once. But I just needed.
You did it a couple months with Messiah.
No, that wasn't like, that's different. But this one, so interestingly enough, I watch Limitless. And Limitless is a TV show that used to be on CBS. I don't know much about these things because I don't watch TV. But anyway, so they put it on Netflix. Interestingly enough, there were all kinds of things that were related to, some of the parts that what we're experiencing. And there's all these things about behind the scenes, these bigger hands that have to do their dark work. And I was like, wow, look at this. It's like totally synchronized. And today is not a day for me to come put all the love within the field. Today is for me to just observe and be here and do nothing and accept that, fully accept that, and just be. And I loved it. And I feel that was very important, because when the call came later last night, I was able to be here, versus if when I felt all that heaviness, trying to go into the field, trying to clear it, which I've done for years, it would have knocked me out.
You know what I thought was beautiful when she came out, because I love it. You were like, "Do you mind if I go in there and just?" And I'm like, "Honey, wherever you feel, go for it. Like I don't mind you going and watching Netflix. I'm whatever."
By the way, we have an Adolf Hitler that's showing up here on live chat, trying to make some kind of interesting comments here, which we just blocked. So we're going to blast some love to you, Adolf Hitler. Can you all just blast some love towards this Adolf Hitler? Because listen, if you're on this call, live chat, and you're trying to make nasty comments, you're probably being called because you want to receive some of this love. So we're just going to send you love, darling. Well, we're going to go ahead and also block your not kind comments.
So it was beautiful, because after, like, well, can I go and watch it? So I went in and was just taking care of some things I wanted to catch up on. And I loved what you said, and I feel many of us can probably relate to this at some point in our life, is when you came out and you're like, wow, now I can really understand why people numb themselves, how easy it is, how easy it is, why maybe people turn toward drugs or alcohol or sex or addictions in this time. And it was beautiful, because it was this compassion that you were giving toward. I thought it was another great way of looking at. Now I see that.
You said that too, because when I came out, I was like, wait, I really get it, because I never used alcohol, drugs, none of that. Like I just don't know. One time I had alcohol and I literally went into coma, and that's it. That's my entire experience. I just none of these things. But yesterday I said, wow, I really get it when there's all of these things happening and there's such a chaotic energy and people are hurting. I get why they're drinking, just to disconnect and like pretend is not there. Sure. I fully had compassion for that.
And you know what I love about that is, it's not saying disconnecting is a bad thing. I mean, when I was younger, you know how I would disconnect? I would go into like magical land. If the Harry Potter movies were here right now, I would just go into this very magical, playful, elemental nature kingdom of literally, I'll embarrass myself talking to my stuffed animals, which my brother had a voice toward.
Why are you still feeling embarrassed?
I'm not embarrassed, but
Go
I'm saying,
get Sammy the seal. Well, what? You gotta get over that. It's precious.
I'm not embarrassed, but I'm saying.
But you know what? You do say that sometimes. I'm embarrassed. I've heard you several. Go get Sammy the seal. This embarrassment finishes. That's it. There's nothing to be embarrassed about.
It's not embarrassed.
Look how many stuffed animals. Those are all guardians.
It's not embarrassed, but I'll show you my favorite stuffed animals.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not embarrassed back then. I was back then.
But you said it right now too, right? So this is how. See, this is why we have TV. Just sit, we talk raw and real. There's nothing like we haven't figured everything out. Just the parts we figured out, we can talk about it.
Back then, I was embarrassed. Back then,
okay, so correct the language.
Okay, so let me correct the language. Back then, I was embarrassed because I would have these beautiful stuff. And this was Sammy the Seal. He had a southern accent. He goes, "Oh, my name's Sammy the Seal." My brother would speak a name.
What age were you?
So it was probably from when I was 5, and I believed in them probably all the way to 11 or 12.
Okay.
So he would make voices for the animals. And you know where we
Who is he?
My brother.
Oh, your brother.
But he would have a voice almost like a tranviloquist.
Whatever.
That word. But we know when the person talks. So what I did is I disconnected from reality and then went into stuffed Animalville land and believed that every being that I was talking to and he was talking to me was actually my friend. And I'm sure you guys have all had
but
them.
we did that with like dolls. And,
yeah.
But I did that with cards because I didn't have dolls.
So I had 50 of them.
50 seals?
No, 50 stuffed animals.
Oh.
and they all were the community that would be playtime. And so as I went into disconnection of regular reality, it was beautiful to go into magical land to create that reality. And I find that it doesn't mean disconnecting is a bad thing. It's also mean maybe what we know, traveling to different dimensions, creating our own reality, playing with our imagination, playing with our belief, and really creating as much love and enjoyment out of it in any which way possible.
Yeah.
So I thought this was like a childhood classic for me to really just dive deep into the mystical world of what can be created. Because, if you believe it, you create it. If you imagine it, it's before you.
It's very interesting you say that. So this TV series Limitless, was it last night, the night before? I did have a dream with the Arcturians in it, which was amazing because this series is about this pill called NZT that this person takes who's a consultant for FBI, and he's able to experience the fullness of his brain capacity and everything. And it was so interesting because Tuesday night meditation, remember Ashtar Command, that message he shared?
Mm-hmm.
So
what church?
I don't remember the full details, but because you do really well in remembering.
So it was amazing because there's lots of major intel going everywhere, and everyone has their own truth. And it was beautiful how you said that Ashtar Command.
He said, I didn't say.
He said, the master said that they're doing everything from their capacity in the ethereal world.
Right.
But they will not come in and do the work for us. We are here in our own collective. This is our journey.
Our opportunity. I remember the gift that you bring all super aspects of you forward, which is that mastery that we're talking about, right?
When you say that.
So anyway,
say that again, real slowly.
I don't know what I just said because
you bring all this
because it's coming in. Like I don't have mental memory.
We are here to bring all of our super aspects of ourself
forward, exactly.
Forward without anyone doing them for us. That's
any outer stimuli
and outer
whatever.
Stimuli
or outer help.
Or what I've always recognized.
But they were saying that they're not going to, just from that, they're not going to come rescue us.
Right.
That was the key.
And that's the one thing I want to put toward all light workers, because somewhere there's been this element where only if someone could do the work for us, if someone can come in and do this. Remember, when I was working with shamans, and they said, the awoken masters can't come into us to do the work for us. We are here to do that. They're here to support us from the higher.
So we can come into their presence.
So we can come into their presence, but even more, we can master what is already ours because it's already within us. We're awakening to that beautiful gift that is us already. That perfection that is us is already within. So if they were to do that, we would just come right back in our next incarnation and we learn the lesson. So part of it is we have to do our own work. Let me tell
you about the Arcturians. So this ties into this. So I had a dream that I was there was some kind of field somewhere, and there was this man with a child in his hand, and like kind of looked like almost like tomato fields, beautiful tomato fields. Yeah, it's like amazing, all these raw tomatoes. And there was this some kind of strange apparatus that was just blasting water. So, and I looked at it and I asked the guy, and by the way, has the chat's been disabled? Are you guys making comment? We can't see you past this Adolf Hitler. Just FYI. Can you make some comments here so we can see? Because something got disabled here. We can't see any of your chats anymore.
There are more chats coming. We don't know if Adolf Hitler came
We don't know
and,
if that's something happened to that. Yeah. Anyway, so it was so interesting. So this guy, so I went outside. This guy came inside of some room I was in. And the guy, I was like, wait a minute. How did you do that? How did that apparatus do that? And the guy said, well, it's an advanced it's a technology that's not on Earth yet. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, this is first of its kind. I was like, can I please see it? Can I please see it? So he takes out something that looks like a video camera. I think, Michael, I don't know what's happening. Let's not touch it because we might mess things up. Please.
Okay, gotcha. I
don't know what happened.
We can put a little emoji right here just
here's
see.
an emoji. Well, no.
Just put anyone.
Uh-huh.
There you go, and then push enter.
Okay.
Enter. There we go. Okay.
There you go. Okay, so it's moving again.
Okay, it's moving.
Okay, sorry, we got frozen on Adolf Hitler here. Okay, let's go. I don't know. Okay. So anyway, so I saw this. Imagine those Kodak cameras, right? So imagine something like that, but completely clear, like a plastic, not a plastic, but something like a plastic clear that was thick or almost like glass, see-through, and there's nothing in it, nothing. And in my dream, I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, the Arcturians showed this to me 6 years ago. That's the plasma, right? The plasma data, the way it gives the data. He's like, yeah, how did you know that? I was like, the Arcturians had showed this to me. Show me how it works. He's like, no, but this is from the future. You can't use this. I was like, I'm ready. The Arcturians showed this to me. Show me how to use this data system. So he's like, okay. So I guess I was very convincing of my dream. So he brings this thing out, and so this thing, then I don't know how it is. It was my consciousness would connect to this little box thing, and then all parts of me, like let's say my emotions at its highest capacity, my brain at its highest capacity, my everything at its highest capacity, kind of like the TV series Limitless, but that was his brain, steps forward. So I connect my consciousness to this device thing, and then suddenly, just as this, my consciousness gets ready, and right there, I'm a witness. The guy tells me, he's like, listen, you are going to be killed for this. You're ready? I said, I am ready. And just in that moment, I freaking wake up.
Of course.
I mean, I was so freaking ready.
Like, this was in the morning when you woke up too.
That's right? In the morning when I woke up. And because it was almost like as if I was going to jump in front of a train or something. But I would totally, like, because of this heightened capacity, I would be able to handle it. And because of my consciousness would be able to tune into this advanced technology that was from the future that Arcturians had shown me 6 years ago. So it's like incredible. But when I woke up, I said, oh my God, this ties exactly to what Ashtar said. So I'm seeing how these situations that happens in our lives, like for me last night, first I got to stand up. First I got to attain my power, really attain my power, so that the higher power can then come in. So I'm like starting to decode the real, more tangible meaning of this much larger, bigger picture.
And you know what's beautiful? What you said about that is, in standing in our own power, we'll go back and go over the view. In standing in our own power, what's so exciting at this moment is our ability to really draw upon our multidimensional powers that are here to be claimed. Because, you know, right now with the frequency so high right now, and it may seem a little strange because, you know, out there it may seem low and dismal. But you have to imagine this. As much chaos, low vibration, densities that are working in however mechanism they want to work it. On the flip side, there is that much more and quadruple double of that. And in that time frame, when all of these frequencies and vibrations are erupting, how amazing is it that we get to also align our frequencies to that? And here's the big part for all of us. To then give our ability to literally, like, it's hard to say. It's like give ourselves the opportunity to remember all the things that we came into this life.
Right.
And then remember them. Remember the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, the clairsentience, the claircognizance, all of the things that are within us that we have seen is now for us to actually align with. Because as much as happening on the outside is also giving the same opportunity for us to happen on the inside. And if we can stay in that high vibration, that joy, that happiness, that gratitude, the gratitude of our health, the gratitude of our well-being, the gratitude there's a roof over our house right now, over our head, then we can just maintain that vibration and then work and combine all that's moving around us and through us to fully activate and manifest what's happening at even a faster pace, because things are only moving faster and faster right now. And the more that we can align that just by that curiosity, that joy, and what I find, that excitement of like, we are super powerful beings. We are superheroes. We know that. When we came in here, we had superpowers. So I'm excited for this time to say, okay, honey, what superpowers do you want to reclaim? That was the word I was thinking. Reclaim. What's the word? What can we reclaim in our sovereignty right now that you would like to activate? Because it's a matter of your belief. It's a matter of your manifestation. And most important, it's a matter of trust and holding the foundation of your power to bring them forward. And that, to me, is the gift that we can do by going within and truly feeling and hearing, because the veil right now is that thin. If there's a veil for us to hear what they're saying. And to me, you can ask Honey, I've been sitting in the pyramid, I've been meditating a couple times a day of just feeling, okay, what is here for us to claim right now? What is here for us? But I feel
so listen, right here, listen, here's the comment. Thank you, Michael, for that. So listen, one second. It started from here.
Okay.
So hi, Caitlin. Thanks for joining. Let's just read some of the comments. And we want to hear this. What you're sharing, is it resonating with you?
How are you guys
all doing?
How are you doing? So,
look, Caitlin, thank you. This is just letting my hair be and not do anything with it today. Thank you, darling. So Elisa,
once you trust in yourself, no one can harm your true essence.
That's Els, by the way.
Els.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Els. Once you trust yourself, no one can harm your true essence.
It's
so
absolutely
true. That is like the icing right there.
Okay,
Lisa, this is huge. Thank you, Divine Timing, for to hear the message. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Video first. Okay. Kianya, Mariam,
Valerie, how's the house searching going for you?
Oh, this is a good question. Thank you, Valerie, because we've had a few people ask. So in 60 days, we have to either leave our place or stay here. My younger son wanted to live with Michael and I, and a few days ago, we found a house. It was amazing, and then he decided to back up. So we said, okay, let's stay put. Now, but his brother is getting ready to go to July 1st. He moves to his place in University of Maryland. So I feel this is going to be coming up. So my sons are coming over this week, and the week of my birthday. So we're going to be spending a lot of time together. And I feel we're going to be having another discussion because Michael and I have to decide on this. We are here. We're grateful. However, when my older son, who's the buffer in that house, when he leaves, we gather. So that's where we are. And we on another level, we're really putting this call out for those of you here with your hearts. Please visualize what we're looking for somebody that has a beautiful house. They're not in it. They're not going to be able to stay in it or what have you. And it is here either in Rockville, Gaithersburg, Germantown, Boyd's, or Durham, or Clarksburg. Well, in this area, so that and they know what we do, and we can totally afford it, but we don't have to deal with all of these agents, all of this thing in the middle. We'll honor it just as we have. We're really asking for that to be placed there. And I'm very excited for my son to live with us, you know.
And the gift, Valerie, thank you for asking.
Thank you for asking.
The gift of what has been blessed upon us is, unlike some places which are really doing the worst things, our management has said they're not going to increase our rent, which usually every year they do. The gift of it is starting in June, if we don't make a decision, we just go month to month. And in that month to month, we choose to stay however long we want, because in this time period, there's no forcing out if we just go month to month, which intuitively I feel whatever's happening right now in the collective, there's going to be more things opening, because based on what we see out there is on the old paradigm. As things are shifting and moving, I believe there's going to be greater opportunities, if not prices falling due to the economy, that the perfect time for the divine timing is going to allow to open that up.
And we have been both doing our part, energetically seeing, and our prayers, and really asking for divine alignment, divine timing, divine house, divine person, divine landlord, everything, and just really surrendering it to the universe. And I still keep looking also, and your prayers will go really far. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much for asking.
So James, so Demetrius, I know you asked this and you sent this. When is this initiation over?
You
when,
are so
when you can no longer be triggers, when you can respond to the triggers in positive, you know, I feel that answer is within Demetrius, because really when we have clearly gone through a lot of our internal lessons.
I don't think we're going to be informed. I honestly, that's how I feel, Michael.
Well, I feel this.
I just don't feel we're informed.
My personal feeling is this: in our new earth, and we are moving, and we are there in a phase of living in complete love versus fear. I feel when the triggers still have hold over us, there is still a fear, and most important, a limited belief that has pull over us. For those that I feel, and it's not toward you, Demetrius, I feel for those in general that are still in the journey of looking at what limited beliefs have hold over them, they'll move through the lessons in life that are going to help clear them out just by natural evolution. For those that, what I feel is they keep expanding their heart, living from a place of unconditional love, in pure acceptance, in pure compassion, in taking the virtues of the universe of kindness and joy and sincerity, and living from what we know as our divine sovereignty, what we came into here, then I feel those triggers will no longer have an effect on us, because then we're living in a whole new dimension where our beingness is love. We're living from love. We're acting from love. We're choosing from love. And I know for me...
Wait, there's something very important in that, Michael. Because I know, and because it ties into just 1 second what you just said, because Dimitri, I completely heard you. And I feel this love that Michael's talking about, that energy is so constantly focused on the outside. Right. It has to be returned back to us. Initiation and the ascension journey, learning to love yourself, the creator self, the I am presence of greater, so you can, like last night when I did, you know, to be able to say, no, what is this? Your connection is okay. I think it's coming back. It's coming back. Where you be able to, sorry, that was a connection. Where you be able to stand up and say, no more sacrifice, compromise. And I feel that's tied into what Michael just said.
And that love, I find, is also, thank you, honey, because I find that is the foundation. that love within ourselves is also the love of our divinity that is us. That divinity that we recognize that everything that we are in that beautiful magnificence, and that beautiful strength, that beautiful connection, everything that we accept ourselves for who we are, and we live by that, and our fullness and expression of it gives us that permission that we are no longer operating from a lower vibration or limited belief. Those will be shifting outward, because and in this moment that we are living, and it's coming from our pure divine love, then there is no separation anymore. And I find that we are there, and for those that are staying in that joy, happiness, and expression, we're maintaining this for our collective, and others are going to be moving through it. And then those that are still living from fear, and those are still going through, beautiful. It's just it's the inner work that has to be done. Yeah. The inner work has to be brought forward so that we can clear the lessons that we've gone through.
Earth is the school of inner work.
Right.
Yeah. So by the way, Dan says he had a Sammy the seal.
Look at that.
That's so cute. And look, that word is ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist. That's right. Thank you.
Ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Sam, because this has been
not Sam.
Dan. Sorry. Thank you. I got a little tongue tied. Thank you, Dan, for the double Aquarius and Sammy the Seal, because once we met, I knew that you were each my soul brother. So I appreciate you bringing in the love of the double Aquarius and Sammy. He's 40 some years old. He's growing some age.
And let's see. So this is a little couple of comments with adult. Let's see. And here's Francine. Oh, Francine, nice to see you here.
It's our responsibility, our experience, our lives, our transformation. We are surrounded by love and light and supported from the highest realms. Thank you. That's
thank
beautiful.
You, indeed. And then, whoa, what happened? Hold on 1 second. Where did we go, my kid? Oh, here. Okay. So it froze for a lot. Let's see what are some of the other comments here. So claiming sovereign. Hi, Lori. Thank you for joining us. Caitlin says, do you think he'll change his mind? My son, I feel it's like spirit of the wind. He changes left and right. So we'll find out. I'll see him this week. And it's a challenge because he's gone pro. He's a video gamer, professional content creator. He has like now over 150,000 followers on YouTube, and Instagram is over 100,000. And, you know, he's in 11th grade just trying to pass it. He doesn't want to go to school. And I'm totally like, I don't blame you. I just don't blame you. And so there's a lot of that. So let's see what happens.
So hello, Danny. Good to
Hi,
see
Danny.
you. Laura, resonate. A limited belief held with me gets triggered. I totally feel that. Mostly it's my family and my spiritual relationships and my choice.
And listen to the earlier part of this, Lori. I really speak of that. Thank you.
I mean, really, if you feel this, honey, we all came in our literally choice of our place of incarnation, our family, the people that we are meeting, and the lessons that we came through. So just to start, just in that sense of accepting that we had contracts. We didn't
come to paradise, right?
Yeah, right?
We didn't come to Venus.
Love,
okay,
love.
Okay, let's calm down. We get to Earth,
I know, okay.
right?
I'm not making a cookie cream, love. I'm just saying. She's ready to like.
No. I'm just saying we came to Earth.
I know. What I'm trying to say is
Earth was no heaven.
In the lightness of what I get excited, especially when we saw this beautiful video of these two wonderful girls telepathically communicating, and they were laughing about how we came here on a mission. And there's times where I get really upset, and I'm sitting here, I'm like, why these humans, why these beings? And then my higher self's like, but you chose to come here on your mission. You are a volunteer, and that you trained lifetimes and lifetimes with the masters, with the angels, that you've come here. And I'm like, yes, but I can't stand these people that just can't see this common sense. Why is it that...
You all got to watch that video. It's on Michael's wall everywhere. It's the best.
And it's like, I sit here and it's almost like you bang your head against the wall because we get just like triggered in our own, like when people are coming from their own limited beliefs, which is perfectly fine. Yeah, it's just hard because we're excited, we're ready, and it's almost like, okay, are we going to blast off? But yet we have to still learn how to accept that we all have missions. We all have different beliefs. We all came here at different moments, but to accept that everything that we came here was given us to evolve, to learn, to grow. No, we didn't come here in Venus to like live in the planetary. But what happens if all this crud, muck that we came through to clear and cleanse, so we had to go through the darkness, so on the other side, then
well, that's exactly what we did.
What do we say about a couple of weeks ago when we're sitting in our 80s and we're like, remember we were sitting there and you and we're like,
we have no teeth.
We have no teeth.
You remember the
coronavirus, and all these people were wearing masks, and we thought they were going to die. And we're sitting in front of all these people, but we can laugh and enjoy this because part of it is we're allowing ourselves to say, we're going through this. We chose this time to get through it. And Lori, we have to own it all. We have to give the ability to say, holy moly, this is the time that all of us came into here. We rocketed to the planet. I'm sure like these babies were like this, da, 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 and now we're like, oh my gosh, can we have some coffee? Can I have some tea? Can I go watch some Netflix? Because right now it's it looks kind of ugly out there. We have to embrace the ugliness. We have to embrace the good, the bad, the great, because nothing's right or wrong. We're here to make the best.
Actually, I feel all of it is just perfectly divine because, and that's what it is.
And when I was going up to the mountains the other day, you know what really hit me
it was Michael's dad's birthday. So listen to this. I have to say this. Michael's father's birthday and my former spouse's father's birthday are the same day. And they were both 4 years in kind of this stage before they crossed over. And both of them are my spirit guardians. I see both of them.
What day of the year were they both burned on? Born on.
They were born 19.
No, they were both born on the 111th day of the
year.
They
were both born on 111th day. I mean, it's just wild. So I talked to both of them. So we did a little ceremony for both of them, and we had my sons over. So I went talked to Michael's dad on spirit side. I'm grandpapa on spirit side. Then I had Michael speak to both, and we had my son speak to both of them as well. And it was just so beautiful, like just to embrace both of them.
And that Monday, my mother and I, we went to Cunningham Falls, Valerie. I know that you remember Maryland.
Yeah.
And the parks, unfortunately, were closed. It actually had a great sign. It said, park closed, no walk-ins. And I was like, well, should we take a picture of that? Because it really should say earth closed, no walk-ins, right?
Yeah.
And we were up there, and I was on the lake taking the golden rays, and I was just sitting there with my mom, and I'm like, isn't it interesting right now? In our time where we're in this isolation, we're in this kind of stagnation, we're in this time where we're really placed to look at what spring is providing us. In the coronavirus, which we both know and feel, that this is a divine plan to really destroy the matrix. It was given to us for us to literally change what we are doing. How amazing is it that it's in the season of spring?
Yeah.
Within us, what's happening? We're in a season of rebirth. Rebirth, transformation, growth, actualization. We're in the place in timing that all of our stuff, which is kind of funny, on the outside it's all crumbling, and on the inside it's all crumbling, but we're given the opportunity to birth what is in front of us. And what is in front of us? The time to create our wildest dreams, the time to actualize what is it for humanity that you want to contribute to go into your heart and finally say, okay, if I don't want to do this job and do this, what is it that you want to do from the compassion and love of your heart? What is it that you want to dream and be that super powerful being to fully come forward and do? And I thought, springtime, here we are in the perfect time, in divine timing to rebirth, to ignite time and frequency upon us so that we can renew everything that's before us. And all of us on here and around us are a part of it. We're all part of this divine plan, no matter how sticky and icky and yicky it gets. We're all part of it, that we get to look back one day in our old age and be like, wow, we went through it. Now we just have to have the patience and the perseverance to move through it. So I thought it was
And
wild.
just all the laughter, like in a few months, the amount of, I mean, we're already laughing through it, but just some of it, like
the things
to
you
be able
see.
to go, like never ever in a million years you could go to a bank with a mask and gloves.
You
Like
can't-
it's
oh,
just
they won't let
amazing.
you in,
They
though.
won't let you, but like I mean, it's amazing. Anyway, so all this happened. But let's just step back for a second. We just want to hear for those of you, how you doing?
Yeah.
Just how you doing? Can you just type
Yeah.
it out?
Even if things are hard and challenging
just,
and being raw, real open, because I know we.
Well, let's give a number. How about, let's say 10. You are just amazing, spectacular, bliss. 0, complete opposite.
Without judgment.
5 in the middle. Just where are you? Can
Yeah.
you give us a kind of like a number or range?
And I love your comment, Valerie. This virus is working to open up everyone's fears.
Oh,
Pull them up
yeah.
to the surface so they can be released, removed, also to slow everyone down so they can go within. I
Yeah,
completely
we talked about this.
feel that.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote something, Valerie,
Yeah,
that
totally.
I wrote this in my journal or in a post that I said, the number one fear of all is death. And it's interesting how this virus has claimed to push on this feeling of, oh my gosh, am I going to die or not? Not for us, but for those that are caught in this fear paradigm. And what happens is when that comes and brings it up, it's that letting go of attachment. I had to let go of a crystal that I've held for years. Every time my dad was in the hospital, this beautiful quartz crystal, it was with me everywhere I went. Honey, I always ask, where's the crystal?
Yeah.
Where's the crystal?
Oh my God, the journey
The
of
day
you
of
and
my
the
dad's
crystal.
birthday, I gave my mom one crystal, the other. She wanted to throw her crystal in the water, but she didn't. So what did I have to do? I went to the side of the road. I went to take some pictures, and somehow the crystal fell out. My favorite picture. I wanted to drive back to Cunningham Falls and get the crystal. But then talking to my mom, I was like, no, I had to let go of the attachment, death. Let go of the attachment.
3.5 years. Almost every day. Honey, did you see my crystal? Honey, where's my crystal? In pocket, in closet, in the bed,
It's my
under
favorite
the bed,
crystal.
in the bag,
I take it
in
everywhere.
the backpack. You know, his bag, my dig
Altar, everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I had, and it was,
Alhamdulillah.
and
as
how
the Arabs
beautiful
say.
is when I came back and I said, honey, I had to do something I never thought. I had to let go. It was actually the same day I wrote my dad's post of letting go and let God, let go and let love. And I had to let go of the crystal that somehow fell out somewhere in Cunningham Falls so that that offering could be made.
Okay, thank you. Hallelujah. Alhamdulillah. So Lisa says, loving this downtime. 9. By the way, can we say a group birthday love to our beautiful Lisa? Her amazing birthday is on Tuesday. So let's sing for Lisa, shall we? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
And many more.
Yay, happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday. Okay.
So Mary, hi
Hi,
Mary.
Mary.
Nice to see you. I hope you and Michael are well. So she's doing okay, feeling connected with all. I am
nice. More than okay.
Sweetie, that's like fabulous, delicious, amazing. So thank you for that. Valerie, I'm a great hermit. Yes, so I'm loving the space. Okay, so what, like 8, 9? What number do you get? Fidel, delight, expanding and becoming aware of growing through
That's
limitation.
Janice.
Oh, that's Janice.
Yeah.
7 and 8, amazing. Thank you. James, well, that's Demetrius. I'm fully expanded and lighter. Blissful. Oh,
Beautiful.
bravo. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Caitlin. Finally,
Started healing dark energies of the child abuse, having to work on protection, expanding beyond fear of the dark energies.
Okay, one second. Can we hold it right there? By the way, announcement. In Germany, they were able to, this was just announced, finally, a huge raid out of, I can't remember how many, no, it was Vietnamese. In Germany, they did pedophilia ring of, I believe it was 39 Vietnamese parlors, whatever, that were part of the trafficking. So they arrested that. And also in Fairfax, Virginia, that was announced, I believe, yesterday, right here in Fairfax, Virginia, that they were able to also crack another pedophilia ring. So this is like a huge celebration, and we're going to start to see more and more and more of this, and a lot more in Europe, but also US is huge. Yeah. It's a huge celebration, thank goodness. And let us just, and I don't like to use the word of the victims in any way. These are not victims. They happen to, on a soul agreement, take part in this. So they take part of the Great Awakening. So to me, they are victorious. They are not victims in any way. And I will continue to surround them with so much love and light. And I can't even, people do use the word survivor. That doesn't even resonate to me either. They went through what we can't even fathom, grasp our heads around, being trafficked as a human. But somehow their agreement has been part of this, so they can assist with this greater awareness. And for that, I'm grateful, and I will hold them in the highest prayers inside of me every day, as I have been, for their highest healing. And however way, if we come across someone we can assist, we'll definitely assist. So let's see. Then there is past few days been powerful. Yep. Caitlin, happy birthday. Okay, yes. Yeah, Lisa's going into 55. This is like a massive portal.
That's divine
deliciousness. Happy birthdays. Oh, happy birthdays.
Lisa, you're hanging out there at 7. So
hi, Amanda.
Good.
So much love. So beautiful.
Good for you. You know, it doesn't matter where you're at. I feel that
we just wanted to kind of see where we are, like and
if there's
it changes every day, doesn't
and if
it?
any of you guys have any questions, Tuesday, we're just getting a little excited.
Our sister turns 55. Yeah. By the way,
So, if any of you are going through things, if things are in a place where you do need to speak and to express, one thing that I've been really expanding deeper is, holding that space so that those fears can be completely expressed. Having that time just to give permission to acknowledge those fears, give the acceptance that it's there, not try to run away from them, not try to get angry at them, but just give light to them, because somewhere that energy has been suppressed. And the more that we give attention to it, it can't hide anymore. It's like placing that vampire into the light and it transforms. So if you have any questions, or if there's any things that you guys are personally going through and you have for us, please send us here or a safe space, or email myself or Honey, and know that
probably not me, because my schedule. I'm booked till the end of June, so I wouldn't be available.
But just know that we are here of highest healing service, and I do appreciate taking that time and space for all that. So Patricia says, I'm feeling disconnected from the media, but didn't sleep great last night. We are disconnected from the media too, Patricia. We try to read as little as possible.
The other thing that I wanted to just address before we close off is just quite a bit of gratitude in this moment. A lot of gratitude for us. A lot of couple of things for. I'm very grateful together with Michael that you've been joining us on Tuesday nights, and this has been coming to me. I kind of want to feel you're all into it too. I'm receiving in this Tuesday night meditation for us to really like 2 weeks ago we tackled the 5G and for it to change its signal into 5D Christ consciousness, and I felt like this past week regarding this thing that happened with Facebook and YouTube and take that. So one of the things that keeps coming to whatever is taking part, for us not to get at all concerned, fear nothing. As soon as it comes up, to recognize, okay, we have the power to go in and shift its frequency by our consciousness, but the firmness, the divine alignment, our consciousness. And I really wanted to, I'm almost looking for a round table where there are these legitimate concerns. Like, for example, right now, there's so many people that haven't gotten their unemployment check. Like, really, and it's rough for people, and that money has run out. So for us not to get caught in that, but for, like, let's say on a Tuesday night, somebody be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'll take that. And you hold the vibration of light, like abundance flow coming from the reserve to where it needs to go to all these people. Or for example, somebody somebody, there's another issue that's right now in the public. And for example, let's say, for example, what would be another one? Like vaccination.
Yeah.
There's that concern with vaccination, and those who do not, who firmly stand, I'm not going to be. By the way, I do want to share this. This is part of me also being very firm, like very firm. I am completely against vaccination and against World Health Organization. And if that is the energy that does, I don't believe in it. Anyway, if that bothers you, because what I'll be sharing will come from that lens. So if that is not in vibration harmony with you, no problem. Remove yourself, because I will be standing behind that. So I just want to really share that. And I will be standing behind the pedophilia rings that are raising up in consciousness. If that doesn't resonate with you and you want to avoid it, please do. Please do. And please unfriend me on Facebook. Just really honor yourself. You just have to honor our truth. But that is the deepest part of my truth, standing up to it. So let's say on Tuesday night, vaccine, maybe like, for example, Caitlin, you're like, okay, I'll take that one. I'm going to focus the energy on vaccine-free environment and what have you. So I'm kind of like feeling called to take it to another level with this, where each of us will go in, we see, okay, here is this issue, here's this issue, here's this issue, this just came up. And instead of being scared or concerned or feared or allowing that energy to pull on us, we're like, okay, we got it. We're going to go ahead and do this instead. If anybody's interested, please email me so we can like be like, okay, we're kind of like the volunteers. I'll take this on. I'll take this on. But you got to be aligned with your divine and really anchored to do this. So please do let me know.
And we thank all of you guys that have been coming for the Tuesday nights meditations. It's been extraordinary to see how it keeps growing. And we're just grateful for that, to just be spread around in the joy and happiness that we not only feel from it, but just the connection that keeps moving through. As I said earlier this week, it's been phenomenal to see what the higher realms are doing for all of those that have participated in our humbleness and humility of crowning us, of congratulating us, and for really giving us the opportunity to be celebrated and recognized. A lot of times people say, what can I do to contribute? And this is the perfect time to really dive within. If it's not on Tuesday night, obviously anytime throughout the day.
But this is what I'm speaking, Michael, is Tuesday night specifically.
I know.
For those of you, just send me an email, ascensionalchemists@gmail.com. Say, honey, I'm in, and I'll send a message, or like, okay, here are the issues that have surfaced. Let's tackle. Who wants to take this? Who wants to take this? Who wants to tackle this? So that way we tackle it by that vibration, because we're seeing how powerful it is, and we start to utilize our supreme power to handle the issues on earth from our higher plane, but within a collective energy. So I'm really grateful. Please let me know, totally fear a lot. And because it is a game, it is a program, and how do you there is a solution to this. The solution is, like, again, last night was a living example. First, you no longer bend, you stand tall and you face it, and you honor your truth, you speak it, and you don't, no reaction, no trigger, nothing, just anchored, and from there you bring it in. So please let us know. The other part is we have had a few individuals ask if Michael, because a lot of therapist places are closed, a lot of things are closed, and in that in-person touch, we've had privately a few people like, my God, I really need touch. And like last night, I had Michael work on me, deep tissue. I really need, because that hurt my arm a little bit here.
Not just deep tissue.
It's a lot more, but I know. So we had a couple of people, and we're not advertising it. We're not saying it. We'll never advertise, but we're not publicly saying it. Just to those who live in the DC metro area, you can message Michael, and
you're
more than welcome
and
to that.
And thank you, my dear Aquarius brother, for giving a big ups to Sammy the Seal. He's always above my altar, making his great way. I mean, isn't Sammy so cute? I mean, just to bring the element of I bought him at SeaWorld in San Diego,
That's so
California. So
cute.
he just, thank you, Dan. I appreciate for you giving, big up to San Diego because he's been here with us. I appreciate it.
So Friday. So tomorrow we get ready. Michael has we're so excited. So Michael has his first online Zoom class. So we're very excited about that. And this week I'm more chilling. I have a transmission, but there's a lot around my birthday. My birthday is the following week, Sunday. It's my 48th. I'm so excited. Both of my sons said they want to go hiking and nature. I couldn't be more grateful to that. And we're going to do something special Friday night. I have no idea what, but maybe we dress up from the room to living room. I don't know. I don't know.
And real quick, for those that would like to be in an amazing, powerful soul shamanic journey where we're going to be anchoring the Christed golden rays of light, I will be doing it Saturday at 3 p.m.
That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. So there are still
feel free to reach
open.
out to
Please
Michael.
Reach out at ascensionalchemists@gmail.com. I can send you all the information. But yet, thank you for all joining us today. It's been a blast to bring our joy, our fun, our laughter, our wacky, weird, raw truth to it all. Wow, we even getting the 4-4.
Oh, wait. So 444. Let's just go over this. 44. Holy moly. 444 was so freaking powerful. But for those of you who missed it, we did take part in the 24-hour live Earth Day live event on Wednesday. So today we were supposed to be in Sedona. Today was supposed to be the first full day of our Divine Alignment retreat. And here we are. We didn't make it, obviously, to Sedona. Caitlin and Lisa were going to be there amongst a few other individuals. And so here we are. And Wednesday, there was a mix-up in the timeline, so we ended up going on Ascension Alchemists to do the journey. That journey is so powerful for those of you that did not experience it. Please put it on and go through the experience. Just make sure you're not driving or anything like that. It's very, very deep, and you got to really ground, to experience it. And that 444 was such a huge, important part of a new resetting to move into this triple flame. And again, that has to do with this anchoring of the divine alignment and that tone, that it's a frequency. So you have to understand that your light, your love, and your wisdom, when they combine together, it gives you the ability to live truly from your mastery. Now, you've been able to master certain areas with maybe all three of them, or maybe one of the three. You're being given the opportunity by these different circumstances to bring this triple flame into all of these areas, and all your bodies are part of it. So that's why it's very multi-layered what's happening. You may have one day that you're just incredible at it, and another day not so much, because that's a part that's still in the work in progress. You got to have compassion and also patience with yourself, and no self-judgment, zero unkind word towards yourself. That's completely not allowed, because we're working with your divinity here.
Or if it is, send some love right behind it.
Right behind it. And no self-judgment, like zero. And so this 4-4 StarGate was monumental. So if you're noticing you've been tired and kind of more lethargic, it is good 3-4 days for you to really integrate to this. And best is to lay horizontal with GAIA, but because we've had rain, it's been kind of hard, but just lay down on that. The other part, this helps us because we get ready to move into 5-5. 5-5 takes it to another octave. Originally, I felt called back in early February to have a massive global event that had to do with the sound of the whales, and with the whale masters that had guided me to bring this spontaneous song with all of us tuning in. We were going to be in Hawaii in the Big Island that day, so we could do this. But now that we are not, I'm feeling I have to hold off on this. I don't know whether I'm still going to do something for 5-5. I don't know at this point. I don't know. Let me feel the guidance, but it's a major one, that 5-5 that we're going to be going into. So we already know 5 is a fifth dimensional consciousness, and there's another octave, and this 5-5, Lisa, your birthday 5-5, you're just so aligned with this. You are moving into this incredible gateway. I mean, it's no joke, and it is just a pure streaming line. So of course, you know, all of these other things that are coming along the way is giving us the opportunity to be, again, to be aligned in the mastery being fully aligned in it. So that's what's getting ready to come up. So again, be compassionate with yourself, be more in nature if you can, drink more water, meditate more as you have been, your supplements, all of that, touch plants, huge part, the plants consciousness, plant kingdom and queendom is a big part of your earthly being anchored in this. I've been growing so much microgreens, and I gotta just touch them so that this frequency can be anchored, and through the negative charges of my hand, they can be really anchored in here. So that's coming up. And one second, we share this because by the time we see you, or we passed 5-5 but for Friday tea time essential talk. That's in 2 weeks. But we'll see you on Tuesday night. And we see the following week. Oh, holy, whoa, whoa! Guess what? 5-5 is Tuesday night, silent meditation. That just dawned on me because the 3rd is my birthday. We're going to be able to tackle serious anchoring light. Wow. Okay, Michael, I just recognized that.
Okay, it's okay. See, this is what happens sometimes when honey gets one of those shebangs, and it's so great to witness because it's the fullness of honey at our
I have like lights going on inside of me.
Yeah.
All my neurotransmitters are like, woo, because I can now, just on what we spoke about, we can tackle some serious stuff. And now, so that means like Wednesday, day off completely flat. Like we're going to be flat in bed. Like that's it, horizontal.
Beautiful. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. Wow. Okay, so let's do this.
So let's go ahead and read the most beautiful, wonderful daily angelic message of the day.
What day is today, sweetheart?
Today is 115. Could not be a better message for all of us to feel.
Yeah, so, look at all those 5 energies,
beautiful. So just close our eyes. Take a nice deep breath into our heart. And exhale out. Let's just take one more deep breath in. And exhale out. And listening to this daily message, take your time. You've become so accustomed to rushing to meet all your responsibilities that it's almost an ingrained habit to go too fast. Yet scurrying from one task to the next doesn't win any contest or engender peace of mind. Rather, it keeps you focused on the future instead of enjoying the present moment. Reading this message is one way that you're taking good care of yourself. You're nourishing your soul and creating helpful new outlooks. But we angels want you to make more of an effort to move less quickly throughout the day. Accomplishing what you need to and taking your time aren't mutually exclusive activities. You can get a lot more done when your energy and mood are soaring with the vigor that comes from enjoying yourself. This happiness is built on noticing the beautiful, funny, poignant features of your day. And that requires taking time so that these details become clear. You can also ask others to help you with your needs and responsibilities. And that includes requesting assistance from us angels. Enjoy your time today. The thought for today, repeating after me. I take my time and approach.
I take my time and approach.
my day with wonder and delight,
my day with wonder and delight,
noticing the rich fabric of each moment.
noticing the rich fabric of each moment.
It's okay for me to slow down,
It is okay for me to slow down,
as I can accomplish all that I need to do at a leisurely pace.
as I can accomplish all I need to do at a leisurely pace.
And so it is.
And so it is. Mhm. Let's check this one off. So that was beautiful message.
Beautiful. This is my favorite from Mexicano Miguel.
Mexicano Miguel in the house. So let us see what the oracle cards have a message for us today. I love you, Mexicano.
This was a message for you too.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear that message?
I was reading
I was
your
like,
thought
I was like
completely.
nodding her.
I was
Slow
reading
down,
your
slow
thought.
down.
Okay, let's see what the collective message for our group is. There. Look, 5-5. You can't make this up. Take a
Look,
picture. 5-5. Well, I don't know where it is, but look at that. Okay, collective ascension energy. Let's see. What do we have? What's the collective message? Oh, okay. Air.
You love air.
And love air. No, not your air. Number 13. The element of air supports truly magical cosmic qualities. Sylphs are air elementals, working with the elemental master Dome and supervised by the unicorn. You are guided to ask the unicorns to direct Dome and his sylphs to spread the qualities of air, enlightenment, ascension, enthusiasm, freedom, and divine vision into the minds of those who need them. Holy moly, is this a good one? Blow that air to the ones that are operating from the limitation. With love, of course. Also ask them to purify currents of air and blow them to polluted areas so that they may be cleansed. Help the fairies work with flowers by acknowledging and appreciating them. Affirmation. I invoke air to carry angels singing around the world to bring hope and peace.
I invoke air to carry angels singing around the world and bring hope and peace.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Air, spirit of the air is a big one.
Spirit of the
Very
air.
important.
And give love to all those air signs, keeping us above
Dad,
in the ethereal lands.
air. So much love. Oh, we love you all so much.
Thank you for joining us today. Thank you
Thank you,
all of your
Demetrius. Thank you,
wonderful
Dan.
energy.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Els. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Lisa. And
Lori,
Lisa. Thank you, Lori,
Fiorella.
Fiorella. I'm trying to go by my
memory.
Thank you,
I thought
Patricia. Thank you, Amanda.
Mariam.
Thank you, Mariam.
Mary,
and Fidel and Janice. Thank you. And
Thank you,
for
Dory.
and for those of you who are watching, didn't
Thank
make
you,
a comment.
Els.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Did you forget anybody?
I have a horrible short-term memory, so my apologies to everyone.
I did good.
You did really good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
I did
Beautiful
say
Lisa.
Lisa and
You said
Lisa.
Thank you, Chuck.
Chuck!
Love you, Chuck. I gotta give you a call.
So much
You've been
love.
sending all these great messages, Chuck. Love you, brother.
So much love. And we are going to, if this video supported you, assisted you, feel free to. Oh yeah, Christine and Christina Paget also had joined us. So much
Thank
love.
you. We love you guys.
So if this YouTube video of this Friday Tea Time supported you, please feel free to share it. It'll be available in just a minute on our page. We're very grateful. I'm still blocked by Facebook on the group pages until May 28th. So I can only post on my page, on Ascension Alchemists and HoniB Author Speaker Healer page, and Multidimensional Living. But they do sometimes not allow me. And I cannot like or love any of your comments on any pages. So
on individual pages you can. Can't you?
On your personal, I can.
Yeah.
So just wanted to let you know, if you're not seeing me active on there, it's because I am blocked for another many days.
Many love, much love,
So
many
much
blessings.
love, so much love,
Thank
so
you,
much
guys.
love to all
Thank
of
you
you.
for
Thank you
joining us.
so much for your time. May you have the most
Thank you.
fabulous, delicious day. And I'll see you all on Tuesday night
Thank
with
you.
Michael for our meditation.
Yes.
Some of you will see Michael tomorrow for the class. Please do email me if you feel like you want to take part for the more focused angle on Tuesday's meditation.
And
Thank you.
Patricia. Thank you, Sunshine Love. Thank you, Michael T.
Michael
Beautiful
T. Who's
blessings.
Michael T?
He said, "Thank
Michael
you, guys."
T. Much love. Well, yo, where did you come from, Michael T? Come have some tea. You just turning the tea.
Michael T. That's great.
Love it.
I like it. It's a good name and seat time.
MichaelA and Michael T.
With HoniB.
HoniB in the middle. So much love.